County R3 families, my name is James Bertles. I'm the Instructional Technology Coordinator in the district, and we want to welcome you to this virtual event. Tonight, we're going to spend some time looking at iPad accessibility features. Now, these are tools that are already embedded in the iPad that help enhance the learning experience for anyone using the device. We're going to spend some time looking at the most important features, and we hope that you walk away from this evening with a better understanding of how these tools can enhance the learning experience for your child. Tonight is going to be an interactive event, so we would encourage you to use two devices. You might watch the video on your phone or on your laptop, and then have your iPad ready to go. That way you can try out the features that are being highlighted throughout the evening. If you're joining us live, we're ready to go in the chat right now. We'll answer any questions you might have. Or if you're watching this event down the road, feel free to reach out to our team with any questions. Okay, we're ready to get started. I want to introduce you to two of my team members who are going to be leading this evening. We have Andi Eggering and Michelle Lenz, who are instructional technology facilitators in our elementary building. So they work daily with elementary students and teachers. Let's go ahead and get started.
Okay, do you ever feel like you can't see the things on your iPad very well, or you feel like you have to squint to see the size of text? Well, we have a solution for you. This is through the Settings app. So if you click on Settings, there's kind of like a left-hand menu and a right-hand menu. So on the left-hand side, we are going to go down into accessibility. And really that's where we're going to stay for most of the night when we adjust things. So we are going to go over into this vision category, and there's a display and text size option. So when you click that, you'll see a bunch of different options. So like bolding the text, if I turn that on, you can see that my words got darker. I can turn on larger text, and this is like a linear bar to where the further I push it forward, the bigger my words get. And then vice versa if I need it to be smaller also. There are also different things down here where we can do like color filters to where if you are colorblind or you are like red-green specific colorblind, there are different filters that you can put on your iPad that make it easier for your student or you to be able to see. Another one that we want to talk about is auto brightness. So that is automatically turned on iPads, and that's to save the battery life, but you could turn it off if you wanted to, and that would let you be in control of the brightness of your iPad, whereas otherwise it automatically does that based on the lighting in the room. So if the display and text size isn't enough for you and you feel like you need more of a zoom on your iPad, there is another option for you, and it's through the Settings app. So again, we're going to go to the Settings gear. On that left-hand side, we're going to be in Accessibilities again, and then we are going to click on Zoom. So it will take you to a whole new menu, and Zoom is already going to be turned off automatically on iPads, and so if we turn that on, you'll see a little rectangle show up, and it acts as like a magnifying glass on your iPad. So it goes over all apps, and you can zoom in on things. This little rectangle on the bottom acts as like a controller. So I can make it more magnifying, so you can see in the background it's kind of zooming in more. I also can click resize the lens, and I can make it bigger. So maybe I want it to go across my whole iPad screen so that it's easier for me to drag around. That's totally up to you, and it's totally customizable to what you need. There's also some filters in here, like grayscale, inverted, for people who have like vision impairments where color may be hard to see. So this is all through the Settings app. And then to turn it off, you can actually double tap 3 fingers on your iPad. So you just tap it twice and it will zoom back out and the rectangle will go away.
While in the Settings app, we are also going to turn on something that will help your child read anything on the internet. So we're again going to be in our Settings app, and when I open that up, right here you'll see one that says spoken content. And this is going to help your student read things on the internet. So if they're in a browser doing research, they're going to be able to highlight some text and it will actually read it to them. This is great for any student that has trouble reading, or really just any student in general that needs to listen to something being read to help with comprehension. So I'm going to tap on spoken content, and then up here you will turn on speak selection. And once you toggle that on, you have an option to highlight content. So we're also going to turn that on. So then when your child is reading on the internet, it will highlight the words in the sentences that are being read so they can follow along a little better. So once I toggle that on, then you see three options. You can have words, sentences, or words and sentences. We like words and sentences just to make sure that it's capturing everything that your child will be reading. You can also change some of these things down here of the style of highlighting or the background color depending on your child. We just turned on spoken content, and that goes hand in hand with Reader View, which is another feature we're going to talk about. Reader View is great for when you're doing research on the internet, and it only works in our Safari browser. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here in a minute. But what Reader View does is it eliminates all of the ads, and sometimes we have videos on the side that are popping up and they may be inappropriate or something you don't want your child to be distracted by. So it removes those ads and lets your child focus on just the content of the article. Okay, we're going to talk about Reader View, and I'm going to show you how to have that turned on. So we're going to go into Safari, which again is an internet browser like Google Chrome, but Reader View only works in Safari. So it's the blue and white compass. Yours might be at the bottom in if your child uses it a lot, or it might be in the iPad. And remember, if we want to find something quickly on our iPad, we can just do a quick swipe down and I can type in Safari and you'll see it right there. So I'm going to open up Safari, and up at the top in the URL bar, I'm going to type in nhl.com. This is just a website that we know has articles that we can show you this feature in. All right, now that we're on nhl.com, we need to pick an article to find in Reader View. So I'm going to just click on one of these top stories over here on the left. When I click that and it loads, you can see that I have different things on the side that might be distracting, and I'm really not looking at the content of the article. So up here at the top, we see these two little A's, two capital A's. We're going to tap on that. And when I see that, I have a couple options. I want to do show reader. And when I tap that, you will see that now it looks almost like a PDF, and I don't have any of those things on the side that I can click on. This is great for our students who get distracted, and honestly, anybody, even myself, I would prefer to read something like this versus all of the junk on the sides. So I have that to read, and I can also change some of the features of it. Once I tap those A's again, I can make my font bigger at the top or smaller. So if I keep tapping that A, it will make it bigger. And if I tap the smaller A, it will make it smaller. I can also change the font. Some fonts are easier to read for some of our students. And we can also change the background color for some of those visual impairments. And then if I want it to go back away to the way it was before, I can click Hide Reader. We turned on spoken content, and this is what it looks like in action. If I long hold on a word, you will see the blue handles pop up. I can drag these handles across as many words as I need to have read to me. And when I let go, I will have a little menu pop up, and I have the option to have it speak.
Louis, St. Louis Blues president of hockey.
When I tap that, it will read whatever I have highlighted to me.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about something that's called guided access. And so, just like we've talked about many times tonight, we're going to go back into our settings app and we are going to click on accessibility. And if you scroll down to the very bottom, there's a section called general. And so, we're going to click on guided access. And we want to make sure that that is turned on. So when you click on this is going to like lock your student into a specific app. Guided access is designed to help your students stay focused and stay within either one app or one website. So if I turn on guided access, something that I have to go into also is the passcode settings. So this is something that you're going to want to set privately so that your student does not know what the passcode is. Otherwise, they'll be able to get out of guided access. So I'm just going to click set guided access password. And you're going to want to make it something more difficult than I'm making it right now. But so that's my passcode. So now if I go into Safari where we were earlier, maybe I'm learning about the NHL or a certain sports team, and I want to make sure that the student stays on this website and doesn't go into anything else. So if I triple click the home button, which is that circle button on the front of your iPad, you will see it kind of zoom out a little bit. And so there are a few options here. So I can just click start and then it's going to keep them in Safari. However, within Safari, they then could go to different websites. So to disable that, I can take my finger and I can circle areas that I don't want them to be able to touch. So for example, the URL bar to where they'd be able to tap and get into other websites. So I can change that. So now that part is blacked out so that they can move on the screen and still read the article, but they cannot leave the website because they can't type in another website. I also can go down to this options button and I can disable buttons like the sleep awake button, which means that they can't just keep turning on and off the screen. I also could disable the volume buttons, which could be helpful if I don't want their game or website or videos to get too loud. One really cool option is turning on a time limit option to where if I set it for 1 minute and I go ahead and click start, like I said, I can go through and I can keep reading this. I can go through and I can read all of these articles. Something that might be helpful also is for me to black out this stuff on the side to where they can't click to other articles to get there. But after my 1 minute is up, we will see a screen that pops up that says time has expired and it locks the iPad, and the only way to get out of it is to tap that tap the home button 3 times, and it's giving me a countdown right now that I have 29 seconds left. Okay, so now you see that this is the time expired. And this has been set from guided access. So if I just triple click the home button, I can type in the password, and now I can click end and they can be done. And so maybe I take the iPad and iPad time is done for the night or whatever. The other thing is if I set guided access, I can also get out of it later. So if I set it and I had like a time limit on there of 1 minute, I'm going to want to turn that time limit off if that's not something that I want to continue to use. So then I'm going to click resume, and so now it's still in guided access, but the time limit is gone. So if at any time I'm ready for them to get out of guided access, all I have to do is I just click the home button 3 times, type in my passcode, and then I'm going to click end up in the top left-hand corner. And so now everything's back, and I can touch up in the address bar and everything like that.
talk about one more app called the Translate app, and this will be our last accessibility feature for the night. Again, we're going to find that on our iPad by just doing a quick swipe down from the top, and I'm going to type in the word translate. And as I start typing it in, you'll see it popping up here, and it is a black app with 2 speech bubbles on it, and we're going to click on that. And when you first open it, the first thing you see is your 2 languages that you need at the top. So depending on what language is your native language, you'll be able to select that by using the drop-down arrows. You can translate into a lot of different languages that are already built into the iPad. You can type by just tapping where the cursor is. You can type something in English and it will translate into, right now we're translating into Spanish. If I want my keyboard to go away, I can tap the little down arrow at the bottom. And I tap the X at the top, I can get the text to go away, and I can use the microphone here at the bottom. So I can speak into my iPad in one language and it will translate it into another language for me. In the top left-hand side, you'll see a rectangle that's like a little menu button. If I tap on this, I have some other options. So we're gonna go into the camera. And the camera will allow me to take a photo of some text, and it will actually translate it into whatever language I am needing for the minute. So I'm gonna tap that camera, and you will see I have a camera view showing up right now. So I'm gonna hold up my iPad, and I can hover over any text, and I'm gonna tap this button on the right-hand side that's a circle, and it will take a picture of the text. You will then see that it starts translating the text right there for me. If I wanna listen to it, I can tap on any of those boxes and hit continue. And then if I tap the little triangle for play, it will start playing the translation for me. When we're done with this, over here you can see the X. I can tap that, or I can just tap anywhere else on the screen and it will start reading another section for me. So I can tap the X and get back to something new. If I have a photo in my camera roll that I want to translate for me, I can just tap this media button right here, and it will take me to my camera roll, and I can click on something and it will automatically start translating any of this for me. This is great for students that are bringing home worksheets or anything that is around the house that you want to be able to translate into a different language for yourself. So again, we tap that X and we can get back out of that. We're going to hop back over into that menu button and show you one more feature in the Translate app, and this is the conversation view. If I tap on this, this allows you to have a conversation with someone that is speaking a different language with you. Down here at the bottom, we have a couple options. Right here, the circle with the 2 rectangles in it, if I tap that, I can choose how I'm having a conversation. So again, face-to-face is if you're facing someone and you would put the iPad in the middle of the 2 of you, and side-by-side would be I'm sitting next to someone, and it's gonna kind of change the layout of the iPad, and I'll show you that in a second. So I'm gonna change it to face-to-face, and you notice that the screen turned sideways. So now I have one person speaking Spanish on one side, the other person speaking English on the other side, and all you have to do is tap those microphones, and one person will speak into it, and then the other person, it will translate into their language.
R3 families, thank you again for joining us tonight. You know, one reason that we appreciate Apple technology is the ability to remove barriers for learning. So I hope that was evident this evening, and we hope that you've uncovered a tool that is beneficial for your child moving forward. Again, thank you for joining.